Taieta, kidiata pai, titi, atea, tai, tila, tai. Sa ata titi, ata taiata, paheta titiata, si ete titi ala, ateke, siama ata titi ala, kate tiata, ha, hiata, kate, tiana maha, si kate tiata, tariela, kate pai, tiata, kai. Sa aya, te pala kate, ti ata, kate patiata, tiata, a, tiamaka, ha, tiata, tiamaka, tikla, kata, siata, si kate patiata, tiamata, siata kail akati a si amaka sikti siata sikti ata tikala bakate tiata makate si tiata ta tiala bakate tiata a si amaka ayata sa tiata bakate tia si amata leata a ayata a debaki tia siketa siata simata. Hello to you all of kindness and joy. We are bursting with love for you. We are here on our mission to join your mission. We commend you for the excellent work you have done and the excellent way that you stay in your highest perspective as the earth manifests its own cleansings and the collective brings forth clearings of its own. We are approaching new times. We are preparing for those who are ready to accept the jump that has already happened, to accept the shifts, the new frequencies and energies that are here ready to embrace you. These shifts will channel in, but using the earthly construct of time. Just be aware that everything that is happening to your bodies is normal for this kind of shift, even though this has never happened on your earth. Be discerning about what is happening around you. Be aware of your own thoughts and projections, as this is how you will be manifesting very, very quickly, almost without thought. In fact, if you think too much, you will slow down the process. So just enjoy, just be aware that it is natural and normal, and you are being taken care of, even though very odd things might be happening, at least seemingly odd to you. there is a jumble of energies. There is a jumble of dimensions. There is a ripple of waves, and some of them are seemingly crashing into each other, but they're all perfectly where they are meant to be. As you observe in the cosmos, sometimes things crash into each other, but that's all part of the process. So you're experiencing some natural interplay of the energies and shifts and changes that are working through your time construct. We are proud to know you. We are proud to work with you. We are representatives of a higher, that's a misnomer, a different set of experts. We are energy beings who know and feel the energies or the frequencies or whatever you wish to call it, the vibrations, the activity, the electricity, all of those things that go into the movement at the slightest and largest levels of the consciousness that is here, the collective consciousness. You are on the right path. You are doing what you are meant to do. So do not trouble yourself as to what you need to do. Just be. Just be love. Just be yourselves. Because you are love. Love is a word that is earthly, but it describes the purest of elements. It's neutral but pure. There's not a description in your language that describes this base element, the essence of everything being is, if that makes sense to you. So all you need to do is be your purity, be yourself, be your element, be your essence. And know that we combine our purity, which we will call love, because that is your earthly, most pure word. We join you in that. We recognize you along with many others who are working their paths on behalf of the collective more and more every day, which allows the collective to gather more of that purity of love. We thank you. We give gratitude to you. We observe you. We support you. Thank you. Ya isai ketia maki sikiti saayata la atikiti atata yamaka. Saeka sialaha iskitia siamakate tiata si tiata niamakate tiata batai. Sawiti so we send you the energies that we share, and we accept the energies that you send to us. We will now entertain questions if you have any.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the Library of Alexandria?
Is that an earthly library that has been destroyed?
Yes, it's sometime in our distant past.
No worries. You have your own libraries that are within you. What you do not know is that you know. You know all. Now, you will be missing parts of the physical histories that have happened on your planet. But all that is important is available to you and will be accessible when the time is right. The reasons that these libraries and other artifacts are destroyed periodically is so that you will become reliant on your own inner infinite knowledge rather than limiting it to historical records. As we have said before, there is nothing that is not meant to be. So these libraries or these artifacts or these mysteries that have been destroyed are purposeful destruction. But as you can tell, there's enough left that questions arise. Why did this happen? Why is this artifact left here? What does that mean? That opens the questions for you so that you can search. But if all the answers were there, why search? Does that help?
Yes, I appreciate that perspective. Thank you.
Is there another question? Is there no question? Akashic records are there. The library of all that is, was, and will be is accessible. I believe our friend was talking about physical records that have been destroyed. What you're asking about are the records that you have access to. And you have access to what you need at any given time. It's all there, but you will ask a question and it will lead you to that section of the ultimate library and give you the answer that you seek. Just the same as if you see an artifact on Earth that leads you to question, so you get that bit of knowledge. So you always can have access to what you need, not always access to what you want, because your plan has not been for you to have it easy. You have to search a little bit here on Earth to find the answers. So you first have to formulate the question. So if you don't even know enough to ask the question, or have the trauma or whatever it is related to your search into the Akashic records, you don't even know to ask the question as that earthly being. So there needs to be enough to ask the question, then that opens up a whole realm of answers, but that's only that one realm of answers. If you wanted to, as a human, tap into the Akashic records, start from volume 1, there's not enough earthly time. So you deal with one question at a time, the same way that you deal with one question about artifacts or history or why or science or any of the many subjects that you could explore. Does that make sense to you?
One additional question then.
Okay.
So our Akashic records could also go into, go further out into, say, your realm. Say, if a person on Earth had had a previous existence on another planet, the Akashic records are there.
They are, yes, they are non-physical records, but they are there. So the soul that lives here on Earth at this moment, encased in the body that they've chosen, might have been a soul or a consciousness or whatever you want to call it, that lived on another planet or in another dimension, or as a light being or whatever, but that Akashic record for that portion of the one that is that soul is there. But remember, we all share all of it. So while in a particular incarnation, in a particular place, you may only have the interest in that particular progression of that soul, that portion of the all. But yes, everything is available. It's all information, and it is there. It is accessible by the question. Does that make sense? So you have to have the question to, that point you toward that volume of the record.
Okay, be careful, because I'm gonna be asking bigger questions.
Okay. We will answer questions based on the information that comes through this being, based on the vocabulary that is accessible. But there are no limits to questions. And as the human that is doing this work, that can be intimidating. But as the channel that's only listening to whoever is coming through, it's part of the work. Okay? Is that sufficient? Is there another question?
I do have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, because I had spoken previously. You mentioned previously about a change, a shift that has happened on Earth, and saying, you know, this has been accomplished. Whereas before, it seemed we were talking about something that was going to happen. So it seems more firm that change has occurred. And what I wanted to ask is, what is different on Earth before and after the change that we've been anticipating for a while?
You will, as you accept these changes, as you shift into it, you will notice it is not a black and white change, if you will. It is a shift that is meant to align souls into their remembering who they are as part of the whole. There will be more and more people who line up to that knowledge and shift from daily turmoils, daily dramas, daily inconsequential but very important to them. But not, there won't be, every human being will not do this at the same time. But every human being will do it in their time, because you are still experiencing earthly time. In simultaneous reality, it's already here, always has been. It's more waking up to the truth rather than changing. So waking up to the truth causes a person or an individual or a collective to have different behaviors, if you will. So you have changed. You have noticed your own personal change. Each of you, in your separate experience, have noticed your own personal changes. They're very subtle, but you know that there's something different about you. As you learn, you are more loving, you are more pure, you are more confident, you are more, you know a little closer who you are. So the collective actually knows a little closer who the collective is. But that doesn't mean that the person down the street who hasn't quite got it yet is going to change till they get it. So it's not a today is this way and tomorrow is that way. But it's here, it's working. And you can observe different things that happen, that change, from earthly changes to individual changes to collective changes. Things don't work the same way as they used to. And I'm pretty sure you've noticed that. Is that true?
Oh, yes, definitely, for me. I've noticed a change in myself, and a change in myself, also around myself. Things are operating differently.
So those ripples of your personal change go out and affect others. Is that a sufficient answer for you?
Yeah, I think it clarifies, and the fact that it's a lot more subtle, even it's real, but it's subtle, and now I appreciate that. It's not like a drastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there another question?
Do sometimes entities at your level learn from the experience of other entities without having to go through a physical manifestation?
Yes.
Simple answer.
The entities at different levels are part of the whole. And so this may be a strange way to look at it, but if on your earthly plane, if you have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and someone is, you want to share that, you cut it in half and you share it. At other places, other levels, the peanut butter and jelly sandwich just is for everyone. Does that make sense? So if you are operating as one being and not having an individual experience, then it all happens simultaneously and shared completely. And, you know, at different levels have different experiences. So as someone who has been a human being transitions to their next level, they will see things differently and share things and see, but they're not getting it the same way that at the when they are all part of the one. But they're still learning, they're still gaining. Does that make some sense to you?
It makes sense. I was wondering if that was a way to cut down on some of
tragedies and horrors have all been chosen as part of the learning and part of the way of the existence in this life, on this earth planet. Your definition of tragedies and horrors is an earthly definition. The soul experiences no pain. Is there another question?
Yeah, I have a question. I recently had an experience in which I was hypnotized, and I discovered like my home on the other side being like I felt very much like I was in the middle of the ocean, and everything around me was blue, except that I knew that it was energy instead of water. But it felt exactly like being in the ocean, and very deep in the ocean, and it just felt so warm and comforting and relaxing. And I just had the feeling that this is my home. This is where I spend a lot of time relaxing. So I guess the question is that accurate? Like, do we spend a lot of time just chilling out, relaxing all the time on the other side?
It depends on what your chosen path is. If you are choosing on the other side to continue learning, then you're relaxing, but you're also learning. Your experience of the ocean is the way that you have defined complete peace, complete love, complete comfort. So that that experience communicated to you what it feels like to be in that state of complete peace. But so yes, that is true, but it's just like language here. We cannot explain to you what it feels like to be in our plane or at a higher, lower, whatever. There's no, that's an earthly way of looking at things, but we cannot explain it. So you use experiences that you understand, that are comfortable and loving and peaceful, to communicate that to you. So yes, it is true, but you're not going to be in an ocean unless that's what you create. But you're going to feel that sense of comfort and love and being part of the home that is home for. Home is being part of the one and being in that completeness.
Okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Is there another question?
That causes me to question, as I do readings for people and see communication between someone who has, on the earth, crossed over. They're hanging out, they're doing whatever. Sometimes they tell me they're playing golf. Other times they're just healing and relaxing. So the lives we go through on earth, seemingly over and over and over again, is that in preparation to then going to a more universal place? Is that our purgatory? Or
Purgatory is not a good word.
it isn't, I know, but
But as we have said before, our perfection is to get as close to source, as close to that divinity. So if you think of a human body and compare it to the one, and we will assign the heart as being the closest to the ultimate beginning and end and perfection. And we all, as we experience the different lifetimes and the different experiences, we are all searching to get closer and closer and closer to that heart. So when a person passes away after a lifetime or 1,000 lifetimes or whatever, he will be closer and closer, but you don't jump from lifetime number one to directly into the heart, because you have decided that you have lots of things to learn and experience as that individual. So you progress from the lifetime as a fingernail up to a lifetime as a knuckle and so forth. And you get to observe from that perspective, and you grow from that. You increase in the love, in the closeness, each lesson that you learn. But also at the readings that you do where you connect, and this channel has also had many times where the message is, I'm still doing this, or I'm doing something that I've always wanted to do, or whatever, what they're doing. That is true, they are experiencing something different, but it's also very helpful and healing to the person who is asking for the reading. So while it's true, its purpose is to communicate that that one who has crossed over is in a better place, whether it's golfing or whether it's, rocking in a rocking chair or whatever. So that's beneficial to all. It's beneficial to you. It's beneficial to the spirit that's crossed over, and it's beneficial to the person that is receiving that information. So yes, what you are getting is true, but and someone who is at the source is likely going to be so far away from the experience of that individual here, because we do come in groups, and we progress in groups. So have I muddied that further, or?
No, that makes good sense.
Okay.
And so I will ask one more question and be quiet and let everybody else talk. And this may have no answer. Have you and or any of your comrades experienced an earthly life?
Yes and no. There is a variety of people in this group, because you have access to any aspect there is. So some have had earthly experiences, some have had no experiences. This particular combination is very, very sparkly. There is, there, as part of the whole, they're sharing that someone had an earth experience. So they're sharing that experience with someone who has not had an earth experience. And vice versa, if somebody had an experience as an energy-only being, they are sharing that. The feeling at this moment of this group is very, very loving and a closer, the words don't, there's no description really. But the answer, the simple
I hear
answer
it,
is,
I feel it, I get it, thank you. Yeah, that's,
Thank you.
That shared experience, it empowers and brings knowledge to the whole. Thank you.
Do we have one more question?
You're muted, Cheryl.
Hear me?
Yes.
So I have a question and maybe also clarification. So it seems like the soul reincarnates and goes through lives on earth in order to grow and learn. Wants to experience, it's a natural desire. But it sounds like there's some souls that experience, grow, and learn, but never have an earthly or even any physical existence. Is that correct?
It is correct, assuming an individual soul.
Okay.
So you create whatever you want to create as your collective or individual and collective. So there's constant creation. So and it's all shared experience. So if a light being has never had an experience in the physical because they've never chosen that, they still get the benefit of the learning from the physical when they are in the collective oneness. So really, I suppose the answer is yes and no. But everyone grows, everyone benefits, everyone creates, both in the individual experience and in the collective oneness experience. It's like you send your fingernail out to have the experience of being clipped. And so the whole body feels, oh, okay, good, my fingernail feels better. But my other parts of my body did not have that experience. That was an iffy thing because there's really no way to explain it. So
Telephone does not know how your fingernail feels.
I'm
But
sorry.
the body experiences it as a whole. Perhaps.
That's a good way to put it. I am about to retreat with deepest gratitude, especially to this channel who is having experiences. And especially to each of you who have participated in your lovingness, in your interest, and willingness to help as we continue to work with communication for the earthly plane. We thank you, and we love you, and we are deeply grateful for you, each and all. Si